萨 世界各地的莲花童子们，大家好。
Hello everyone, all Puma Kamaras from all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Tashi Deli everyone. I'm the host for today. I am Dharma Sister Lianhua Zhiren. I'm from Taiwan, Tainan, Dayuan chapter. Now it's Taiwan time, 2nd June 2023, Friday, 7:51 p.m. Today's class is Chapter 2, Exposition of the Complete True Buddha Tantric Sadhana. And we're entering to lesson 11, which is the night cycle breathing exercise. And we're entering the class at 8 p.m. sharp. I would like to welcome everyone. Welcome Dharma Instructor Yichai. Welcome DA Yichai. Welcome our counselor, Lianhua Chun, and a counselor, Mayor, and our Dharma assistant, Lianhua Xiaoxiang, and Dharma assistant, De Wang Zhijiao. We welcome all the Dharma assistants and Dharma instructors who are now coming on board for the class. And all our Dharma brothers and sisters, welcome. Our Indonesian interpreter is also on online now. We even have fellow disciples joining from the US at this time. Welcome all Padma Kumarans who's joining the class for tonight. If it's convenient, please turn on your video and indicate your Dharma name so that we are able to interact with each other easily. And 5 more minutes, we will be starting class. Just a gentle reminder, on June 16th, we will be having a second homework review. And I hope that all students please submit your homework, your insights report. Today's class is being delivered by Master Lianyi. And after class, we will have a Q&A session where Master Lianyi will explain any questions that anyone may have for the class today. Please take this precious opportunity to raise questions. Let's look at who's already online. Please turn on your video if possible so that we will get to know you, to say hello to you. I see DA Zhongfeng and Dharma instructor Cui Yan. Everyone is slowly coming into class. In 5 minutes time, the class will start. We will start on time. Today we will be entering to lesson 11, which is the night cycle breathing exercise. And Grandmaster has said that this is the start of it's the exercise for practicing your qi. It's the start. Let's listen intently the class that Master Lin is going to deliver today. Let me see who else. Padma Kumaras going to be online. I've just saw Master Lian who joined online.
阿弥陀佛，尊荣座驾好。
上师好，
很棒啊！
谢谢。还有显福助教你好，莲英法师吗？还是看不？莲英法师您好，还有莲花文员助教您好。还看到了三义雷藏寺的莲奇法师您好。
And all our city rev masters, senior reverends are also slowly joining us online.
我们的课程还有3分钟即将开始。
It's now 7:57. We're going to start in 3 minutes time. Just a gentle reminder that on 16 June, we're going to have the second homework review. Please submit your takeaways reports, your insight reports as soon as possible. Just another reminder again that there will be a Q&A session after class today. So if you have any questions regarding to today's class, please you can indicate your questions in the chat box, and we will have Master Lianyi answer those questions. Thank you so much. We are now into our 11 lessons, and Grandmaster has ever expounded. One of the most important start in any cultivation is a nice cycle breathing exercise because it helps to practice your qi. So do listen carefully for this class. It's now 8 p.m. sharp. The True Buddha class starts right now. Let's first put our palms together sincerely to pay homage to our root lineage guru, living Buddha Lianyi, past lineage gurus of the True Buddha school, the Triple Gem of the Shrine, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. We pray for Grandmaster's blessing that the class be delivered smoothly. Please form the Padmakumara mudra and recite the Padmakumara mantra, the short mantra 7 times. Om Guru Lian Shen Siddhi Hum. 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 Amitabha, welcome. Let's welcome our teacher for the class. And let's welcome the Honorable Chairman, Master Chen Zhu, Education Director, Master Lian He, Peer Director, Master Lian Jia, Master Lian Fei, all masters, senior reverends, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, and fellow disciples from all over the world. Dashidali, everyone. Welcome. We would like to welcome everyone who's joining this class. For the last class, Master Lianyi has explained to us the peaceful mantra recitation. So there are 3 key points. So the mantra is the secret language of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and with mantra recitation, you can connect directly with connect directly to the minds of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. So second, Grandmaster said, to Brasco must recite both mantras and the epithets of Buddhas. So when we do mantra recitation, we are actually reciting radiance. So what kind of method do we use? Which mantra should we choose? What type of mantra recitation? What method of mantra recitation should we use? This will depends on one's affinity, as directed by Grandmaster. Today we're going to enter into lesson 11 of the 9-cycle breathing cycle, and Grandmaster will expounded the very start of any cultivation as practicing the 9-cycle breathing exercise. This is very paramount. As let's put our hands together and welcome Master Lianyi to explain Amitabha, everyone. Let's welcome Master Lianyi. Let's put our palms together and pay homage to Buddha lineage Guru Living Buddha Lianyi, Master lineage Guru of the True Buddha School, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Mahasabhas, Dharma protectors of the shrine, the Honorable Chairman, Master Chen Zhu, Education Director, Master Lian He, PR Director, Master Lian Jia, Master Lian Fei, all masters, senior reverends, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, our hosts, our interpreters, all interpreters, all counselors, all fellow disciples, good day to all. Today we continue with lesson 11, chapter 2. Lesson 11 is a 9-cycle breathing exercise, but first let's do a recap. Question 1. After the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have attained enlightenment, what did the essence of their realization condense to become? Put your answers in the chat box. Well, everyone has answered rather quickly. The answer is mantra. That's correct. Question 2. In the common practices of pacification, enrichment, magnetization, and subjugation, which of these practices will require one to recite the mantra with fury? So the answer is subjugation practice. Question 3. whose mantra tone should one follow for true Buddha school's lineage mantra? We spoke about this in the last lesson. Some of them said Grandmaster, Root Guru, Root Lineage Guru. Both answers are correct. Yes. Let's enter into the lesson proper. Preface of the cultivation sadhana. It should be performed before entering into samadhi. So what is Buddha wind? Buddha wind refers to Buddha's breathing, the exchange of breaths through the inhaling and exhaling movements between the Buddha and the cultivator is hence the 9-cycle breathing. So after completing the 9-cycle breathing, the body, speech, and mind is purified. The cultivator then proceeds to do 入我观, which is the entering of the deity into oneself, and 我入观, which is the release of oneself into the cosmic consciousness. So next, our next lesson, we will be going in details what are these two items. So when performing the 9-cycle breathing exercise, it is best to use one's intention to control the inhaling and exhaling of one's breath through the left and right nostrils. If this is not possible, one can use the ring finger or pinky finger to lightly press on the nostril. For example, to guide one's breath into the right nostril, the finger can lightly press on the left nostril, and to guide one's breath into the left nostril, press on the right nostril. You practice slowly with both hands. So we can use either the pinky finger, which Master Lianyi is showing. He's demonstrating how we do this exercise. So if one is able to use their intention to control the inhaling and exhaling of their breaths through the left and right nostrils, entering into meditative stability will not be affected by too many hand movements. One's intention controls the inhaling and exhaling of their breaths. This is difficult at first, but it will become easier with more practice. So you will have to take a long time, practice for a while to see the effect. So the most important is to use your intention to control your inhaling and exhaling. Because if you use your fingers to control the inhaling, exhaling, the movements may affect your meditation. So this takes time to practice to get the effect. So that's a story I would like to share with you about practice makes perfect. During the Song Dynasty, there's an archer who's very proficient. His name is Chen Yaozhu. Chen Yaozhi, sorry. He's very proficient in archery and he's always hits the bull's eyes. So there was one day he was practicing archery at in his own garden. And there was this old man who saw old who passed by. So this old man put down his load from his shoulders and observed Chen with interest as he practiced. And Chen asked him, "Do you know archery? Don't you think my skills are excellent?" And the old seller said, "There are actually no special techniques required. It's just a matter of practice and familiarity." So Chen was very angry when he heard this and said, "How dare you look down on my ability?" And the oil seller smiled and said, "I discovered this from pouring oil." And following this is demonstrated how he poured the oil into a container. So he took out a copper coin, and the copper coin has this small little hole in the center. So what he did was he put a god flask on the floor, and on the opening of the flask, he did not put a filter, but instead he put a copper coin which covered the opening of the flask nicely, and leaving visible only the tiny hole of the copper coin. And next, the oil seller slowly scooped up a ladle of oil and poured it into the flask. And the oil flows like a fine thread from the lather through the tiny hole. And towards the end, the coin was not stained with oil at all. And he said, there's nothing special about my movement, those things that I'm doing. It's just because it's practice makes perfect. I think I'm sure everyone knows why I share this story. Every time you say that something is, you might look at someone and say, oh, he's an expert, he's proficient in something. But we must understand that the person has actually put in a lot of practice to achieve that standard. It means practice makes perfect. So in anything that we do, in whatever we do, especially when when we are practicing the 9-cycle breathing exercise, we need to practice and practice and practice, and slowly you will see the effect of your practice. So practice makes perfect. So related to this story, that's a phrase that I like. The phrase says, the arrow leaves the bow and hits the bull's eye. I kept reflecting on this phrase. And then I think it from a tantric perspective, and suddenly I have an inspiration. It's just like it says the arrow hits the bull's eye. It's just like achieving spiritual union. So first you must have a goal, and you march towards this goal. It's just like shooting someone, an archer. Your mind must be calm, but you already have a target, which is the bull's eyes. And you will focus, and then you release the arrow. Only then you hit the bull's eyes. So in our life, whatever we do, it's the same meaning, it's the same idea. You must have a direction. Your direction is your goal. And then from the beginning, you will slowly move towards your goal. And then you will make an achievement, you have the effect. So what is a goal? So the goal is actually a motivation. And if you persevere and continue marching forward, it will become a motivation. And last week, I did mention that everyone needs to have a direction, so that when you're in any situation, your experiences, there are good experiences and bad experiences, and there's smooth experiences and negative experiences. But when you have a target, you have a goal, you will find that you will not be so easily affected, because you know what you want to do. So arrow leaves the bow and hits the bull's eye. Next, we talk about the visualization of the 9-cycle breathing exercise. While practicing the 9-cycle breathing, one can visualize bright radiance or white light directly in front of the cultivator. And one can also visualize the face of their personal deity, which is the idam, right in front of them. So you are face to face with your idam. The white light will emit from the nostrils of your Idam. And the cultivator is seated with their hands forming the Dhyana Mudra. First, visualize one's entire body as completely transparent and bright like lapis lazuli. And within the body, there are 3 vertical meridians. You have the left meridian, the right meridian, and the central meridian. And they are parallel and upright, similar to a pipe. I'm sure everyone is aware of the 3 meridians. If you practice the 9 cycle being cycle, so that's the left meridian, the right meridian, and the central meridian. Later we will explain. So for the central meridian, the upper part is actually bigger. And I will explain in detail this later. So the left meridian will connect with the left nostril will connect with the left meridian, and the right nostril will connect with the right meridian. And the central meridian above is bigger and the bottom is small, and the upper part is like it's like a trumpet that reaches the brain. It's not accessible to external surroundings. The lower end of the 3 meridians will meet the 4 fingers below the navel. So we continue with the visualization, the 9 cycle breathing exercise. The practitioner then visualizes either great white light in front of oneself or white light emitting from the nostrils of their Idam. So the first cycle, the practitioner visualizes white light entering through their right nostril, transforming into red light once it enters the right meridian. This light travels down the right meridian all the way to the Dantian, which is the point where the meridians connect before traveling up the left meridian and exiting from the left nostril. So the light transforms into black smoke upon exiting. So when the qi is almost at the throat, it will become red light. It will continue to move down to the dantian. Like I mentioned, it's where the meridians connect. And it continues to move out. And when it exceeds, it becomes like black smoke. So the second cycle, the practitioner visualizes white light entry through their left nostril, transforming into red light once it enters the left meridian. And this light travels down the left meridian all the way to the dantian before traveling up the right meridian and exiting from the right nostril. And the light transforms into black smoke upon exiting. So it's the same explanation. It's just that the direction of the flow of the qi is different. Sorry, the direction of the flow is different. So this is the third cycle where the practitioner will visualize white light entering through both left and right nostrils, transforming to red light once it enters the left and right meridians. This light travels down both the left and right meridians. Upon reaching the dantian, it enters the central meridian and rushes to the top of the brain. As there is no exit to external environments, the light again travels back to the dantian before traveling up the left and right meridians and exiting from the left and right nostrils. And again, this light transforms into black smoke upon exiting. So in the cycle, in the third cycle, we will be it will be using the two nostrils. So when the light travels and enters the central meridian and rushes to the top, there is no exit. So we will travel back again into the dantian and travel back up to the left and right meridian and exit from the left and right nostrils. The fourth cycle is similar to the second cycle, at entering through the left nostrils, exiting from the right nostrils, and the fifth cycle, entering through the right nostril, exiting from the left nostril, and the sixth cycle, entering from both nostrils, exiting from both nostrils, as in step 3 above. For the seventh cycle, you're entering from both nostrils and exiting from both nostrils. For the eighth cycle, you're entering through the right nostril and exiting from the left nostril. And the last cycle, the ninth cycle, you will enter through the left nostril, exiting from the right nostril. I'm sure everyone understands this now. It's just that maybe in terms of the visualization of how the white light convert to red light, and then when it's exiting, it becomes black smoke. You have to take note of this. So this is the breathing sequence for practicing the 9-cycle breathing exercise. The 9-cycle breathing exercise can be done in 3 sets. That is, repeating the entire cycle 3 times for a total of 27 cycles, and it's just that the order is reversed. Of course, this reversal has its purpose as well. It aims to cultivate the practitioner's power of mind and power of thought. So it has significance as an extremely important training. So practicing the Dharma requires perseverance, and one must cultivate daily. Hence, perseverance is the first element of cultivation. So there are a few key points in this phrase: your power of mind, your power of thought, and your perseverance. Talking about the power of thoughts, that's a story that I would like to share with you. In the Yuan dynasty, there was a literary scholar named Zhao Zi'an. He's very talented, especially in painting, and he loved to draw horses. So the horses he draw are just like the real horses. And there was once when he needed to draw a painting with 108 horses. So the horses are painted in all shapes and sizes and in different poses. And when he was at his 108 horses, he needed to draw a horse whose forelegs were facing upwards. But he had never seen this before. So how should he draw it? He was very engrossed and thought about it all day and night. How the posture, how it's going to be. So he think about it day and night, even in his sleep and dreams. There was one day after his lunch, he fell asleep while thinking of the horse. Even though he was sleeping, he was still thinking about how to draw the horse whose legs are facing upwards. And at this point of time, his wife entered his room. She discovered that a horse with all 4 legs facing upwards, instead of Zhao, was on the bed. She screamed from shock, and Zhao woke up. He asked his wife, "What happened? Why are you screaming?" His wife said, "I saw a horse on your bed instead of you." And with all 4 legs facing upwards on the bed, Zhao found it strange. It was me on the bed. How could it be a horse? He kept thinking about this. And in the end, he went to the temple to consult an old monk. The old monk explained to him, it's about what you think. It's because of what you think because you were so engrossed thinking of horses, mimicking the mind and shape the horses, and unconsciously your body became a horse. And Zhao understood this immediately. And he thought, what if I draw the images of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas instead? Would I become one of them in future? And from that day onwards, Zhao no longer drew horses. He said, no, I don't want to be in the animal realm. He said, I will be a painter specializing in painting Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So this is a classic, but it also makes us realize that what we think in our heart, when we are engrossed, when we keep thinking about it, it will manifest. You manifest into that shape. So it's the same logic when you are practicing Tantric. When you want to achieve spiritual union with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you have to use your heart. You have to visualize them daily. You have to visualize your idam, you have to visualize Grandmaster. And if you are not clear with the visualization, you can draw. So this is a kind of way to help you to enter into samadhi, into a meditative stability. Especially we are tantric practitioners to achieve spiritual union with our idam, apart from a mind visualization. Another key point is your mind, your vow must be the same as that of your idam. Like take the example of Avalokiteshvara. What was her vow? Compassion. You must. In your daily life, you have a very bad temper, and you don't have compassion. But your idam is Avalokiteshvara. Given this, it's quite difficult to achieve spiritual union with your idam. So your behaviors, your actions in your daily life must resonate with that of the idam, and that you will achieve spiritual union easier. So part of your power of the mind, your perseverance. Our Grandmaster has always said, perseverance is of paramount importance. A lot of fellow disciples, when taking walks with Grandmaster, I have cultivated for so long. Why don't I have any, why don't I feel anything at all? And Grandmaster say when I have been transmitted a Dharma, I also need a few years before I see results. So we need to practice consistently. So we need perseverance to train ourselves. So that's a story I would like to share again. I think I've been telling a lot of stories. I think I might have shared the story with everyone. This is a story of a slim man in India moving a mountain. So this is a real story. This is an authentic story. There's an Indian man whose wife fell from a high point and became very seriously injured. His husband carried her to get to the hospital. In fact, the hospital is nearby, but they are blocked by a mountain. So he had to make a big detour before he can reach the hospital. And because he made a big detour and wasted a lot of time, his wife cannot get help on time and bled to death. He was very, very sad. And he made a vow to open a passage to the mountains so that future generations could pass through it smoothly, pass through to the other town easily. And he act on it every day. So during the era, technology was not advanced. He had with him just a chisel and iron hammer. And every day he would knock on a mountain. He will knock on a mountain day and night, retiring only when he was tired. And the villagers believed that he was too sad and had become mentally unsound. So he didn't care what people think or say. He hung on to his chisel and iron hammer and continued to knock on the mountain day and night. It took him 22 years before he opened a passage through the mountain. Can you imagine the perseverance that he had to make this happen? And when he's doing this, it's not just for himself. It's more for the convenience of the future generations who can just cut through to the other town easily without making a detour. So what his actions will touch heaven and earth. So if we have a spirit like this, when we cultivate, it will not be hard to succeed. So if we want to achieve something in our cultivation, we must have the spirit. We must have the spirit that when we have succeeded, we have attained, make some achievement in a cultivation. What we do is not just for ourselves. It should be something that will also benefit others. So we help others we eliminate others as well. Yeah. Self-eliminating and eliminating others. This is very meaningful. So it's not just us alone making an achievement. We help others to achieve something as well. I remember Grandmaster has said, the true Buddha Tantric Dharma is not only to benefit self. And I hope that all disciples can spread the true Buddha Tantra to everyone. And after I heard this from Grandmaster, I feel deeply. So we should not only benefit ourselves, we should also help others. Because in this world, many people are in darkness. They don't have light. So what is light? Light is wisdom. So if you don't have wisdom, you don't have right mindfulness, it's easy to take the wrong path. So you must help people who require help. Let them have a light that shines with brightness. This is important. So I think a master has repeated this. We can do this 3 times. So he is repeating about the 9-cycle breathing exercise can be done in 3 sets. That is repeating the entire cycle 3 times. And it is mentioned that 3 key points in this practice is cultivate the practitioner's power of mind, power of thought, and your perseverance. So you can also do as follow. The first cycle, you repeat 3 times. The second cycle, you repeat 3 times. The third cycle, repeat 3 times. So this is the same as the method you shared previously. This will still be 9 cycles. So which means you can practice in the following sequence. One can do step 1 consecutively for 3 times, and step 2 consecutively for 3 times, and then step 3 consecutively for 3 times. This will also give you a total of 9 cycles. So you can exercise this method too. So what is the secret essence of 9-cycle breathing exercise? The 9-cycle breathing is a method of using one's thoughts to stop thoughts. It allows one to have mental concentration, and it's a practice for entering to meditative stability, which is a Vajrasamadhi. So what is Vajrasamadhi? Vajrasamadhi is very firm. It's something that will not change. So I've made some research. Vajrasamadhi is somebody that can connect to all phenomena because its strength can eliminate all afflictions, just as the Vajra strength can shatter things. So this is called Vajrasamadhi. Ordinary beings have many distracting thoughts. So for most ordinary beings with many distracting thoughts, it is not possible to enter into meditative stability immediately. So one needs to use a singular thought method to stop these distracting thoughts. You will inhale and exhale in sequence from your left nostrils or right nostrils or both nostrils, and visualize white and red lights entering your body and then exhaling black smoke from your body. The sequential changes in the 9 cycles focus on inhaling and exhaling to stop your distracting thoughts. And the cultivator's mind focuses single-mindedly on the sequential changes of the 9 cycle. This is something that a Grandmaster has specially taught. So using thoughts to stop further thoughts. So there must be a method, a visualization. So you use right mindfulness. So the 9 cycle breathing exercise is using thoughts to stop further thoughts, right mindfulness, or rather. Do this exercise before the start of a meditation, and to focusing on just one thought, your distracting thoughts are eliminated. So as Grandmaster said, your thoughts at the beginning of this exercise is like a waterfall, but as it goes along, it starts to calm down. So I'm going to share a story about using thoughts to stop further thoughts. Everyone knows about Emperor Liang Wuti. So when we do the Emperor Liang repentant practice, would have heard about him. His an advisor who is the Zen master Zhigong. So one day, Emperor Liang loves to watch plays, and one day, Emperor Liang invited Master Zhigong to the palace to watch a play. After watching, Emperor Liang asked Zen Master Zhigong, "Master Zhigong, what do you think of this play?" Zen Master Zhigong replied, "I don't know." The emperor was surprised and said, why do you say you don't know? You're sitting here with me watching the play. The Zen master saw through the intentions of Emperor Liang. He said, hardworking people are not concerned with the external forms. They're very focused. He said, if you don't believe me, let's do an experiment. Say tomorrow you take out an inmate on death row from the prison. Ask him to hold a bowl of water in his hand and place it on his head, on top of his head. And then you tell him, if the bowl of water on your head spill the drop at the end of the play, you will be pardoned and sent home. Oh, sorry. If the bowl of water on your head does not spill a drop at the end of the play, you will be pardoned and sent home. But if any water drips out, you will be immediately beheaded on the spot. So throughout the play, and true enough, not a single drop of water spilled from the bowl. And he asked the prisoner, do you know what play was performed today? The prisoner said, long live my king, I don't know. And next he asked, what do you hear? The prisoner said, I do not hear anything. He said, this concerns my life. So I'm just concerned that the water does not spill out at all. So my mind is just preoccupied with holding on to the water and ensuring that no water spill out. So after this, Emperor Liang understand Master Zhigong's earlier words. It means that if you are just focused on something, especially if it concerns your life and death, you will not be concerned with other external things. So this story also is telling us single-mindedness, the power of single-mindedness, the power of focusing. So our life is a journey. So one day impermanence will visit us. So that's the reason why we should be diligent, with the hope that we will we will no longer be in samsara. But if you have a lot of distracting thoughts, it will be difficult. So you have to start training yourself. Stay focused. Don't be affected by the external environment. Only then you can control your own life and death. The 9 cycle breathing exercise is a supreme practice to eliminate karma. Visualize your idiom and white light in front of you. It inhales pure light, which transforms into red light. This red light cleanses all unwholesome karma within your body, which will circulate through your body and then be transported out of your body as unclean qi, which is a black smoke. So breathing in the white light is a way of cleansing your karma. The inhalation and exhalation in the 9 cycles is the secret of all tantric secrets, which truly eliminates all karma. A cultivator whose heart is pious and sincerely practices continuously this method of inhaling white light and exhaling black smoke will transform oneself into clean, tranquil light. So when this light integrates with the supreme light of the universe consciousness, you have truly become no self. Why must you, many people, because they have a strong sense of self-attachment, it became a hindrance to their cultivation. So everyone has this attachment, but we can slowly release ourselves from this attachment. So there's another story that I would like to share with you regarding the cloth-back monk and the pure flask lay Buddhist. They say they were very odd people in the Ming Dynasty. So this, why they call them odd is because both of these persons, they are actually propagating the Dharma. One was called the cloth bag monk because he was carrying the cloth bag, and the other was a lay Buddhist, and they call him the pure flask lay Buddhist because he was holding on to a flask. Many people ask the cloth bag monk, what is Buddhism? The cloth bag monk put down the cloth bag, and the person who asked the question nodded his head and commented, it turns out that putting down is Buddhism. After hearing this, the cloth bag monk lifted up the bag again and looked at the person who raised the question. So this person was very confused and he has doubts. Is putting down, so in this case, this means letting go or living up Buddhism. Actually, putting down, which is letting go or living up, they are both Buddhist teachings. And what does it mean? You know, what do you mean when you let go? To let go of your self-attachments, your clinging. During Buddha's era, there was also a cultivator who was holding on to flowers on both his left and right hand, and Buddha said, please put down the flowers. So when the Buddha said, and the Buddha keep asking him to put down. So what was the Buddha trying to say? Our fellow disciples with wisdom would know what does it mean. It means to let go of your attachments. If you get more and more attached, you'll be bounded by all this. So what you like, that's a bondage. So with the five-finger mountain, the Wu Zhi San. So the Wu Zhi, five fingers, is the wife, money, your children, your prosperity, and your life. So, and at the end of the day, you have to let go of these five items. So you will let them go slowly, slowly, bit by bit. Then there's these the pure flask lay Buddhist practitioner. People ask him, what is Buddhism? He took a bottle of water and poured into a cup. So when the cup was full, he continued to pour water into it. A lot of people will look at this external form and say, oh, the cup is, they would probably say, oh, the cup is full, stop filling it up. In fact, he was teaching Buddhism with this action. What is he trying to convey? He's trying to tell us that to learn Buddhism, your cup must first be empty. You must let go of your self-cherishing thoughts, your arrogance. So the water refers to the Dharma flow. So when we learn Buddhism, we do have to seek the help from other people. I wasn't very sure about something, so I actually sent a line message to Master Lianyi today. I was asking me how should I answer so that the answer is so that it's a good answer, and he gave me an answer. I'm very grateful for that answer. I'm thankful to him for helping me. So if you don't know something, ask. Be humble. So once you've asked, you will understand. What when we talk about lifting up, you're lifting a right foot forward, right mindfulness. It's a wisdom. When someone has wisdom, when he looks at something, it will be very positive. I remember I shared this story before. There are three people, there are three persons. One day, he was looking at a spider and it was raining, and he saw this spider which is climbing up the wall. And when it was climbing up the wall, because it's just rain, he will of course fall down. So this spider started climbing again. So there are three persons who saw the spider climbing up the wall, and the first person said, my life is just like this spider. I'm slaving all my life without any rewards. And the second one says, and he has another idea. They say, the spider is so poor thing, and it's very stupid, and the spider is also very stupid. Why doesn't he move to another wall which is drier so that he can climb up the wall? If you have not tried, how would you know? So the second person has a very smart view. So the third person has another perspective. He said he was impressed by the perseverance of the spider. So the third person becomes stronger and stronger. So there are not just only three persons. A lot of us are like the spider. Share the same views about how we see the spider. Some of them likes to complain a lot, especially when their life's journey is not so good. They keep asking why heaven is not fair to them. Why is he going through all this suffering? But this is all karma. So this is the first kind of person who will always complain. And the second type of people who knows a lot of things about life, things in life, good understanding of life's journey. So you have to be someone who is reasonable and understanding. So in your daily life, you will not be affected by too many things in your daily life. And the third kind of person, he will get stronger as he feels every time. He gets stronger with each failure. So the third type of people, it's very rare. It's very rare and they are very few in numbers. So in our life, we meet with a lot of negative situations. But I always say that if you fall, it's okay. The most important is you can stand up again and continue your life's journey. This is the most important. And who have not fallen before? So in the process, we will learn a lot of things. We learn many things about life. From practicing the 9 cycle breathing, one will achieve a tranquil appearance and a tranquil mind and body. And once you have a tranquil body and mind, this is naturally followed by a tranquil appearance, which is very pleasant and dignified. And the more one practices this exercise, the more dignified one's appearance will be. This is the compassionate appearance of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So this is one key point. The 9 cycle breathing exercise is a method for entering into meditative stability. And for a cultivator who is sufficiently adept upon the end of this practice, upon the end of this exercise, their focus is locked, their qi will accumulate, and immediately they will enters into Vajra Samadhi. The cultivator is not detached from all delusions and is able to maintain Samadhi and thereby entering into a state of emptiness. This is a profound Prajna Paramita, which is entering into a profound meditative state of wisdoms where the 5 aggregates no longer exist. And this is from the Heart Sutra. The last part is from the Heart Sutra, the last sentence. So the term Prajna Paramita refers to the supreme wisdom attained by the Bodhisattva in the practice of the Buddha Dharma. The Bodhisattva, in a profound meditative state of prajna, saw in an instant that the 5 aggregates are actually non-existing, and the 5 aggregates are form, sensations, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. So our prajna, prajna wisdom is very important. So if you have enough wisdom, your perspective to life will be very different from other ordinary beings. I remember Grandmaster ever said, one who has wisdom and who has the Buddha Dharma, who knows the Buddha Dharma, is no ordinary being. Let's break for our game segment 1. Let's pass this over to D.A. Lian.
好，上司好，大家好。
Amitabha.
好，
Welcome
这
everyone.
个欢乐时光，那我已经在
This is
留
our
言
happy hour now.
放了这一个链接，大家可以点击你想
I
要
put
参
the
与的
link
这一个频道。
in the
有
chat
华语、
box.
英
Just
文、
click on the
印
link.
尼文， 同
We
时
have
呢
3
也
channels, the
可以
Chinese, English,
在
and
这个
Indonesia.
浏览器打上 www
Alternatively, you can type the link and your devices and enter the respective codes to gain access
英
to the
文是
game.
47714667， 印尼文是78683147，请大家做好准备进入了吗？那给大家大约1分
Yes,
钟。
everyone ready. I will give you about 1 minute to enter into menti.com.
这里我的电脑少许问题，所以背景乐就是缺乏了一点。那没关系，我们的游戏还是可以照样的进行的。好，
We will have
大家
no music for this game segment because I have some technical issues. Okay, the music is back.
大家都进了吗？再看看一下。
Let me take a look if everyone has entered the game.
好，我们多一个5秒、4秒、
5 more seconds.
好，暂时请等一等，我打开那一个。好，上司可以开始了。
Let's start.
问题一，什么
Question
是
1. What is the 9 cycle breathing exercise? Answer A, the exchange of breaths between the Mara and cultivator. B, the exchange of breaths between the Buddha and cultivator. C, the exchange of breaths between a god and cultivator. Everyone has voted. The answer is?
B.
Answer is B.
呼吸对的。 问题二，九节
Question
佛
2.
业大法
The 9-cycle breathing exercise is a supreme practice for karma elimination. What is the visualization? A. Inhale white light and exhale black smoke. B. Inhale black smoke, exhale white light. C. Inhale black smoke and exhale red light.
哇，大家这么快。对了，
Everyone is really fast this time. The answer is A.
那由于关于时间的关系呢，这次我们就不看这个
Due to time constraint, let's skip the scoreboard for this time, right?
环节，我们到底有谁领先？那我就先把这
Look
个
at results in the next game segment.
九节佛风的奥妙。
The mysterious aspect of the 9-cycle breathing exercise. One of the most mysterious aspects of the 9-cycle breathing exercise is the practicing of mental concentration. When we visualize or meditate, very often our minds are confused and chaotic. So to eliminate distracting thoughts, Tantric uses a method of using delusions to stop delusions. That is, you use one thought to prevent other thoughts from arising. The 9-cycle breathing exercise is doing a thought visualization. This is a tantric method using wholesome thoughts to prevent unwholesome thoughts. So you're using right mindfulness as an antidote to distracting thoughts. Let me tell them a story. So do you know the car number of the number plate of a car that Grandmaster has? It's 546, which is 546 in English. And a fellow disciple said 546 is no good because it sounds like 我死了, which means I'm dead. So later on, Grandmaster pronounced 546 as 无事了, which means it is all right. Let me share another story. The 3 dreams of a scholar. There was a scholar who went to the capital for exams and stayed at his regular inn 2 days before his exam. He had 3 dreams. The dreams are really special. The first dream, he was planting vegetables on the wall. The second dream, it was raining heavily, and he wore both a bamboo hat and carried an umbrella. The third dream, he dreamt he was lying in bed with his beloved cousin, with their backs facing each other. The 3 dreams seems to have some profound meaning. The next day, he went to see a fortune teller to decipher the dreams. The fortune teller frowned upon hearing those dreams. He said, there's no need for you to go for the examination. You better go home. Just think, growing vegetables on the wall, is this not wasting your efforts? And isn't wearing both a bamboo hat and carrying an umbrella unnecessary during the rain? And lying in the same bed as your cousin, but with your back facing each other, means nothing will happen between the 2 of you. So he was, the scholar was very dejected when he heard this. And the boss of the inn asked him, why are you going home? Isn't your exams tomorrow? So the scholar shared his dreams and analysis by the fortune teller with the boss. And the boss was very happy hearing what he had said. He said, "You must go for exam." He said, "I think your dreams are good dreams. Just a thing, growing vegetables up high on the wall. Does this not imply you will pass the exam? And wearing both a bamboo hat and umbrella would mean you're very well prepared for your exams." And the last dream, facing back to back on the bed with a cousin, implies that you're going to have a change of luck. The scholar felt that what he heard made even more sense. So he went in high spirits to take the exams, and true enough, he made it to the ranks when the results were released. That's what I said. Right, mindfulness is very important because you will see things from a more positive perspective. How to practice having the same breath as Buddha? The 9-cycle breathing exercise is akin to the Buddha practicing this exercise with the cultivator. To explain, for example, the 6-syllable se, che, emitting red light will be exhaled from the nostrils of Amitabha Buddha. This red light will enter into the nostrils of the cultivator and will go around once in the central channel exit, after which the 6-syllable xie will enter into the nostrils of Amitabha Buddha again. So this is a cycle. The 6-syllable xie emitting red light will be exhaled from the left nostril of Amitabha Buddha, enters into the left nostril of the cultivator, which is then exhaled and enters into the right nostril of Amitabha Buddha. At this point of time, 2 xie 6 syllables will be exhaled from both nostrils of Amitabha Buddha and entered into both nostrils of the cultivator. It will ascend to the top, but it will block and will therefore descend, after which the 2 6-syllables here will be exhaled through the both nostrils and enter into the nostrils of Amitabha Buddha. So to have a more, even a very subtle and refined visualization, you need to visualize both the seed syllable and its color. You also need to visualize Amitabha Buddha's nose and nostrils. So it's very subtle. This is the Buddha nature of the idam of the cultivator, which entered into the Buddha nature of the cultivator. Both are the same Buddha nature, and both will breathe together. When the qi of the Buddha enters into the cultivator's body, the seedling of Buddha nature of the cultivator will enter into the body of the Buddha. Both the Buddha and cultivator will exchange breaths through inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils, breathing the same air. So that means you have to visualize yourself as being Amitabha. How does an enlightened being substitute the karma of sentient beings? The visualization of an enlightened tantric practitioner who has generated major bodhicitta vows would be different from that of an ordinary being. They will inhale black qi, or the black smoke, which represents the karma of sentient beings. The enlightened practitioner will endure this karma on behalf of the sentient beings. Entering the enlightened practitioner's body is the red light, which will transform and eliminate the karma of sentient beings in order to deliver them. And exhaling white light, the dedication of merits is extended to all sentient beings. The 16th karma path is one who inhales black smoke and exhale white light. And for us ordinary cultivators, is we inhale white light and exhale black smoke. So this is the path of a Bodhisattva. So this is the path of Bodhisattva and generating bodhicitta that is using radiance to shine to shine radiance on all sentient beings. This is the compassion and benevolence of a true tantric practitioner. What is the peat to the 9 cycle breathing exercise? It must be slow. When you're breathing slowly, this can stabilize your mind. You can be at ease and the qi will gather. This qi energy can be strong or weak and can enable mystical transformation. So this is the first beat, slow. Second beat is it must be detailed or it must be refined. When you're very refined in your breathing, your breath is delicate, which will be light and it will travel far and with ease. You're able to move freely as one pleases. The last beat, it must be long. Because you take long breaths, you're able to enter into meditative stability. You're able to calm down and be tranquil. When this happens, you're able to move freely and to a supreme, extraordinary realm. I was just thinking if someone wants to tame their temple, the 9 cycle breathing cycle is a good exercise to do so. If you notice, I can hear their breathings are very rough and very rapid. The breathing symptoms of death approaching. So breaths are fast, they're rough, they are short, they're the breathing of a dying person. So we must remember the pitfall tantric breathing is slow, refined, or detailed and long. It's game, we are back to game segment number 2. Let's hand this over for DA Lianyi.
第2次的游戏环节。好，上师可以开始了。
问题3，哪一
Question
项
3. Which of the following is a mysterious aspect of the 9 cycle breathing exercise? A causes a chaotic mind. B causes an active, excited mind. C practicing mental concentration. That's right. The answer is C.
对啊，答案是C，精神统一。问题是哪一项是九节佛风的口诀
Question 4. Which is the beat for the 9 cycle breathing exercise? Your breath should be fast, rough, short, or B, fine, slow, short, or C, fine, slow, long. Answer is C.
C 漫长。
来看看下，我们的大家都回答了吗？印尼的要加油哦，还有大家都还没回答完。
We'll wait for the responses from the Indonesian channel. Let's give them a few more seconds.
好，我们来看看下排行榜。中文版我们将会有谁领先呢？
Let's look at the scoreboard for the Chinese channel.
环节我们没看到。
The winner is Lao Zhong, Dharma brother Lao Zhong.
恭喜老钟。
Congratulations, Dharma brother Lao Zhong.
印尼有来。
For the Indonesian channel is Kim.
英文呢，我们有莲花一响。
And for the English channel, is Dharma brother Yixiang is the winner again.
大家参与，那我们继
Thank
续
you everyone for participating. Let's continue the class.
行者如何洗涤自身业障？
How does a cultivator cleanse one's karma? Performing the 9-cycle breathing exercise is to inhale the white light, which is the fusion of the merits, virtues, and divine power of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. This light enters the body of the cultivators, cleansing the cultivator of all transgressions, illnesses, afflictions, ignorance, and attachments with the light of the Buddha, which will be transformed into the black smoke and expelled out of the body. This practice has remarkable power. And if your body is not so good, this will help to eliminate your illnesses. So practice a 9-cycle breathing exercise. Whether inhaling or exhaling, one must first learn to breathe slow, detailed, and long, to the extent that both your inhalation and exhalation of breaths becomes no breathing. Eventually, that is to say, you've entered into a samadhi of great stability, which means that you're not aware of whether you're breathing. You are not aware that you're breathing anymore when we talk about no breathing. So when you're regulating your breath, it's akin to regulating your mind. The cultivator visualizes the light entering the void, and because the Tathagata is omnipresent, as soon as the cultivator inhales, the cultivator will achieve the 6 major non-obstructions: the integration of space and existence, the unity of Buddha and self, and mental concentration. So what are the 6 major elements? Earth, fire, water, wind, emptiness, and consciousness. These are the 6 major elements. We are at our summary now. Living Buddha Lianyi expounded, the most important beginning of cultivation practice is the 9-cycle breathing exercise. This is because it is a starting point for the cultivation of one's qi, and it's extremely crucial. So the 9-cycle breathing exercise is an authentic Dharma practice that every cultivator should practice for 6 months to a year. In this way, the cultivator will become very healthy. All delusional thoughts will also be eliminated. All delusional thoughts will also be eliminated. One's concentration will be focused, and your mind will then be calm and tranquil. So we must be diligent, persevere. One more story before I end the class. There was a sculptor who loves to carve Buddhist statues. He found a big smooth stone and was going to carve an Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, a very dignified statue. But every time the sculptor cuts through the stone would groan in pain. So the sculptor had to give up. Later, he found another big stone. And no matter how much sculpting was done, this piece of stone will endure silently. And finally, after a period of time, it was sculpted into a very dignified statue of Avalokiteshvara. And this statue was enshrined in the center of the main hall and worshipped by thousands of devotees. The discarded stone ended up being broken up into pieces to become stone steps. One day, he was very indignant and he complained to the Avalokiteshvara statue in the main hall. We are all stones. Why did you become a Buddha statue and is worshipped by many people, whereas I become stone steps and being trampled by people daily? What's the reason? And Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva said compassionately, you could have become a very dignified pretty statue and be worshipped by many, but when you were being carved, you kept crying out in pain and couldn't endure the pain. But I endured this pain silently. Because you couldn't endure the pain. That's the reason why you become stone steps and being trampled on daily. What am I trying to convey? To attain achievement, to achieve the fruit of Buddhahood, to achieve the fruit of Buddhahood, to be just like to be worshipped by many people like Avalokiteshvara. We have to first learn to tolerate negative situations or unreasonable behavior of actions from people, because we hope to become a dignified statue like Avalokiteshvara. But if you're not able to sustain the pain like the discarded stone, you will continue to float in society. You will continue to drift in society. So in our daily lives, we will go through trials and tribulations before we can attain the fruit of Buddhahood. That's the end of the class. Amitabha, everyone. Thank you. With gratitude to Master Lianyi for your exciting and interesting class. That we have benefited a lot from your teachings, especially your stories, which are so inspiring. And the stories focuses on the key points that you have taught and allowed us to imprint this in our mind. So in order to reach the Maha Twin Lotus Pond, we need to endure, we need to persevere. Thank you, Master, for your exciting class. The lessons are full of peace. First, the breathing of Buddha is the Buddha wind. The breathing of Buddha and that of the cultivator. So the breath of the cultivator, the exchange of breath between the Buddha and cultivator is the 9 cycle breathing. So the pitch of the 9-cycle breathing is slow, refined, and long. And the 5th beat, learning tantra, perseverance is of paramount importance. And to achieve fruit, you need to generate bodhicitta. Apologies, I've missed out some points. So now it's a Q&A. If questions regarding today's class, please submit them on the chat box, or it doesn't matter whether on YouTube or Facebook, we will collect your questions and Master Lianyi will answer them on the spot. This is a very good opportunity. Treasure the opportunity to raise questions. So last week, there were 2 questions. Let's go through that first. Let's go through them first.
上次关于持咒课程的问题。
So there were questions on mantra recitation. The first question is, Master and Buddhism, why do we use the prayer beats for mantra count, and why is it 108 beats? We invite Master Lianyi to advise, to give an answer. So the prayer beats is for mantra count. This is to stabilize our mind. But why 108 beats? Which means that with 100, it represents 108 afflictions. Question 2. Master, I would like to ask, when I close my eyes when reciting mantras, I will always see green or purple lights. What is the reason for this? As these are normal. In general, when we recite mantras, we should focus, we should concentrate on just reciting. We shouldn't be bothered about other things. Just focus on your mantra recitation. Use your ears to listen and imprint in your mind. That's the most important. For others, that anything that you see or feel, don't bother at all. Thank you, Master. So we have answers. We have questions from today. Let me take a look. There's a question about inhaling black smoke and exhaling white light. This is a method that is undertaken by the 16 Karma Path to deliver sentient beings. But the 16 Karma Path has not shared about how he does this exactly. So do we use, and the question is, do we use the inner fire to burn? There's another question. Say, hello, Master. Every week I will cultivate the Guru Yoga, and the Avalokiteshvara Mandala. No, the Avalokiteshvara calamity avoidance strength practice. When I'm in meditation, do I visualize this white color home syllable, or is it se, or the se syllable?
那么你跟观一生坛成必斋法嘛，是合修嘛，所以我觉得你是以
Sorry, she did a combined practice of the yoga, of the Guru Yoga and the, wait,
合起来的时候，那应该是谢之合在烘之吧？那两个，那我不知道中委会有没有说这个两个法合修可以合修？那以我所知呢，是上师相应法跟这个释迦行合修。
Sorry, this Shijie, she does a combined practice of the Guru Yoga and the Guanyin Mandala Strength practice.
还是以金刚心菩萨为主。
And Master Lin said,
请问一下中委会哦，看有没有
maybe we will here. Master Lin said maybe we should check with Jupiter Foundation whether this combined practice is possible. So and there's another question that says like if I'm practicing the 9-cycle breathing exercise, or do I practice this after the prelim practice, or I can do it anytime and practice this by visualizing in healing white light? Or if you have time constraint, it's possible to just do the main practice and then include the 9-cycle breathing exercise. So because of time constraint, our client will end soon. And if you have, if there are questions that we have not been able to answer today, we will collate them and then we'll answer them during our next lesson. Amitabha. Thank you. With gratitude to Master Lianyi and Master Lianhe and everyone for raising questions, for your questions. We will be entering to lesson 12. And we welcome everyone to join, to participate in the class. A gentle reminder, on June 16th, we will be having our second homework review, and we would encourage you to submit your insight reports as soon as possible. So we have reached the end of the class. We'd like to invite Master Lianyi to say goodbye to everyone. Again, let's put a palm together and thank Arunach Guru Living Buddha Lianshen for radiating light on everyone, and that the class is smoothly delivered. We'd like to thank Master Chen Chu, Master Lianhe, Master Lianjia, Master Lianfei, and thank you all masters, senior reverends, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistant, our hosts, all the interpreters, all counselors, all Dharma sisters, and all fellow disciples. Amitabha, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Thank you to interpreters within the English and Indonesian channel and to DHA. Thank you to all the everyone who make the class possible. Thank you to all the public members who participated on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook. See you next week. Bye-bye.
下个星期再见。
拜拜，谢谢。
阿弥陀佛，谢谢你，上师。阿弥陀佛。
莲助教，
谢谢，感谢莲海上师，
再见了，下节课
谢谢，
见。
再见，
大家拜拜，
谢谢，再见，大家拜
拜
拜，
拜，
美拉助教，谢谢，
拜拜。
彩虹助教，阿弥陀佛，再见，再见，拜
拜拜，
拜，拜拜。
哦。
谢谢大家，拜拜，
拜拜，
下次见哦。
拜拜。